Jack Together episode 16. TJ is here once again, becoming our very first back-to-back guest. Congratulations to him and to us. He's great. Today we talk Vampire Survivors and Asif's ongoing love affair with it, especially the Operation Guns DLC. But the real story today is Hellblade 2, Senua's Saga. TJ has the lowdown on this long-awaited sequel from Microsoft and Ninja Theory. We talk some more Animal Well before playing a little game called TV Toys. I won't attempt to explain it here, but it's a fun one. All before heading over to Storytime, Tesla ending Steam support in their vehicles, Larian Studios scales up, MultiVersus expands with Jason Voorhees, Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door is here, again, on Switch. Ghost of Tsushima is the best-selling PC port to date for Sony. Nintendo acquires a studio, and the requisite AI chat at the back half of the show. Got a great episode. Thanks for tuning in. Enjoy it. Here we go.
So, yeah, there's been a lot of news already this week. We're recording this on a Wednesday for the folks at home, but there's been a lot of news, right? Just in general.
Yeah, it's been kind of a action-packed week.
But like, there's some news that's not really in our covered space that I thought I'd bring up because like, it's already hard just getting through life in 2024, right? Like, you know, there's climate change, there's all sorts of things. What I really didn't need, what's really got me down in the dumps today, guys, I really didn't need to know or learn that I have microplastics in my balls. And not just me. We all do. You do. Anyone with balls has microplastics in them.
Yeah.
Did you see this news?
I didn't, but I actually had that assumption already.
You already were just like, you know what? Just given my lifestyle, I probably have a lot of microplastics in my balls.
Given my lifestyle of injections, yeah.
Are you injecting the microplastics directly into the balls, or are you like the rest of us just kind of existing and then ending up with microplastics in your balls?
Oh, no, I have a nightly ritual. Yeah.
So you might be part of the problem. Now, I went back because I was like, what the hell is this? Like, where is this coming from? Right? Because it was everywhere. You saw it on like CNN reported on it, CNBC reported on it, like those fancy foreign outlets that still exist, they were reporting on it. It was apparently a University of New Mexico study, and it was only 32 humans in the test. But I guess the thing that made them extrapolate the results is that all 32 had microplastics in their balls. But they also said it was 32 testicles. So I'm like, is that 16 people? Or is that, you understand my question, right?
I do understand your question.
So is the sample size, I guess the real question here, what I wanted to get to the bottom of before we started the podcast is the sample size of the University of New Mexico study on microplastics in balls, is that enough to convince you that you probably have microplastics in your balls? Because like, I guess yes. I wanted like some sort of benefit of the doubt or like some sort of maybe my balls are the outlier kind of thought, but I don't know. Do you think that study is pretty convincing?
Yes, there is an outlier somewhere, and it's some guy living out in a fugue state in Arizona, and that person has never encountered the rest of society.
I would think it'd be like some native living in like the rainforest or something, or like an Aboriginal.
Same thing, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's probably people out there that don't have microplastics in their balls.
But this person would have had to start their life in that scenario, not like have some conviction in their 20s and be like, I'm getting off the grid.
Yeah, no, this isn't some like 22-year-old that's like, I'm gonna go do ayahuasca in Costa Rica. No, that's not how this works. Like you already have microplastics. They've already got it.
They already have it.
You might be born if you're born in America, you might come out the womb with microplastics in your balls.
I mean, if microplastics are in the balls, that means that they're, well, I don't want to get into biology, but geez.
You're talking about ovaries now? Microplastics in ovaries or sperm?
Well, those microplastics got to get out somehow.
Good Lord. How small are these things? How micro are these microplastics?
They're micro. They're microscopic, I think.
Is this the same material that's like composing, Plastic Bag Island out there in the Pacific and in the Atlantic? Is this kind of like that, but in our balls?
Yes.
That's a good question. Inquiring minds need to know.
So yeah, I guess we can start the show.
Yeah, you were right. This was better than what I outlined.
Okay, good. It's like, I'm not sure how you guys are gonna feel about this, but like, I was just reading. I was like reading shit last night, and I'm just like, I saw it trending yesterday, and I was like, this can't be real. And then I'm like, Associated Press is reporting it, I'm like, CNB, like, who the? It just started like, I went down the rabbit hole, and I was like, oh my god. And yeah, it's also in some animal they tested too. It was in all their balls too. We're so fucked.
Yeah,
Like,
it all
your
sucks.
kids are just microplastics at this point.
Yeah, but also so are we. So let's just hope
I know.
they're no worse.
Your father's father, your father's father's father.
Yeah.
From a long line of microplastic balls.
My dad is a Poland Spring bottle.
Only people on the East Coast will get that. You're listening to Shack Together, a Shack News video game podcast where you didn't listen to Joe. You took your lucky socks off. I'm your host, Asif Khan, and today I'm joined, maybe, by my co-host, John Benjamin, our producer, Joe Stasio,
Hey.
and Senior Editor TJ Denzer.
Yo.
TJ, back-to-back episodes.
It's never been done before, but now it has.
A Shack Together first, outside of me and Joe making it back-to-back episodes. It'll be a cause for celebration when John does a back-to-back episode. But, yeah, you know, sorry. I don't mean to drag my co-host. I'm not trying to drag him. That's not good teamwork. But anyway, we are together here, and we brought you back, TJ, because you have some games you want to talk about that you've been playing. So I have to ask the question that we ask our esteemed panel. What have you been playing?
I mean, should we just jump right into Helldivers 2? Because I was playing the heck out of that this last week for
Hellblade
review.
2.
Hellblade 2. I'm sorry. I have there's so many Hell games these days.
That's true. I mean, the whole industry is a Hell game.
But yeah, Hellblade 2, Senua's Saga.
Yeah, we can jump right into that.
Let's do it.
This was an interesting review. It's like audio, visual, gameplay-wise, presentation-wise, masterpiece. Like very well made, very well crafted. It's an incredible narrative journey. It's also just really, really emotionally hard to play. It's draining. It's everything in this story is so dour and sad. And I had a hard time playing this game for long sessions. I would like get through a section, like get through a chapter, get to a point where like I was looking for a save point so I could stop for a bit and take a breath and walk away. And it's just that kind of game. It's not really that hard to play. I would there have been one of the critiques out there is that the gameplay is rather simple and slow and plotting, which I would agree with on the slow part. It's very, very weighty.
Mm-hmm.
But man,
that's similar to the first game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it is quite an incredible experience. Like I saw this online, some folks talking about it. It's like Ninja Theory, with the way they're going with their game design, they have the potential to be Xbox and Microsoft's Naughty Dog if they really wanted them to be.
Yeah.
Because they're good at that. And those are the same things that Naughty Dog is really good at with Uncharted and Last of Us.
Yeah, absolutely. I could see that if Microsoft valued prestige at all, yeah, that would be something. It was weird seeing the CEO or the head of the studio post that. It was like this big message to the fans and like a black background. I was like, uh-oh. But yeah, it was just like a thank you for playing the game. So I was like, oh, okay, good.
Given the nature of news these days, it like could have totally been expected. It's like, thank you for playing our game. We're shutting down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But apparently they've been greenlit for their next project, which good for them.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up at a 9 out of 10 for this game. Very good combat, very strong story. Not as strong as the first, in my opinion, but still pretty good. Very good audio and visual design. And my only issues is that like there's puzzle solving in the game that kind of slows down its pace to a degree that I didn't like.
Mm-hmm.
And that's about it. Also, this game has some of the best accessibility features I've seen in a game so far. Like they really went all out on that end.
Nice. How many times did the game just scare the ever living crap out of you?
Quite a few. Like it's unset. It keeps you on edge at all times, just because of a core element of, especially if you're playing in headphones, which I wholeheartedly recommend.
Yeah, there's no other way to play this game, in my opinion.
The voices. Senua is suffering from psychosis, and she hears voices in her head at all times. So you hear those voices, and they almost always keep you on edge because they're always frantic. They're always left and right and every which way. And you never know which time it's going to be a real voice and it's like somebody attacking you from behind.
Well, to that point, TJ, I say they, like the voices in your head will occasionally say something that's clearly about something in your view or like something in the environment you're in. And that like makes it even extra creepy because you're like, are they, to your point, like you're like, is that a real person? Or is like, yeah. I think people's like kind of sleep on how good the environmental storytelling is in this game. Because like maybe they're not, maybe it is a game where you really do need to hear it in like headphones to really experience that. But yeah, it's I think that's like one of the coolest things they've done. It's like it's a different kind of synesthesia in this game. Like I know when we talk about synesthesia, it's usually enhanced games like Tetris Effect or whatever. But like this is a game where it actually, very few games will like give me goosebumps. But like this series can do that. And I think that people sleep on just how hard that is to do in this medium.
I have to applaud them. I think they've made the as far as presentation goes, I think they've made the best game of 2024 so far. Like this one will stay with me for a while.
Nice. And yeah, the Melinda Juergens is back, and she does another awesome job portraying Senua.
Yeah.
Yeah, this looks great. It's so I heard it's a little short.
Yeah, I mean that was similar with the first one too, though. Like they tell their story and they don't like labor it. They don't belabor it. They don't like make it. Those puzzle segments I talked about are kind of like the lowest point of in my opinion, just because it's not that they aren't compelling. It's that you move so slowly all the time that having to look around an environment just kind of feels less cool than everything else you do in the game.
Yeah. Okay.
And but that said, they don't drag it out. They don't like make you have to like go on this fetch quest to find 10 sticks. No, it's just Senua goes from place to place, experiencing things, doing story, saving people, killing people, and like kind of I wouldn't say all killer, no filler, but pretty close to it.
Like the sound of that.
Nice. And that is out now on Xbox and PC, right?
Correct.
And
as of May 21st.
And it is a Game Pass game. So yeah, try it out, folks. It's got a 9 out of 10 of Shack News. I saw it. It was a very wide range of reviews for this game. So
yes,
5 out of 10s, and I think we were on the high side. I think there may have been a 10 out of 10 or something. But yeah, it's just this type of game I think doesn't hit with everyone.
Yeah.
And I think it is kind of it's a more artistic game than I think a lot of other things we'll see this year. But yeah, I agree with what you said about Ninja Theory kind of being a flagship studio for Microsoft, which means that they'll probably get shut down next week.
Maybe so.
Anything else you've been playing?
Still plugging away at Guilty Gear, Tekken, and Grand Blue Fantasy Versus. Those are the ones that I'm going to be playing at EVO. So I've been practicing my butt off, trying to get better, trying to be cool.
Nice.
Trying to smooth out my weaknesses and see what I can do this year.
Cool. And EVO's coming up. What is that, in July? Right?
It is late July this year. Usually it's at the start of August, but they shifted it back like a week and a half this year.
It's still going to be like 1,000 degrees in Las Vegas when the EVO happens.
Yeah. It's in the middle of July. Of course it is.
Yeah, that's fine. It's just funny because like EVO itself is quite cold. Like I just remember wearing hoodies into EVO and just being outside afterwards being like, why am I wearing a hoodie right now? But that's how Vegas is. But yeah, looking forward to hearing more about your, your path to Guilty Gear immortality is what I'll call it. But nice. Joe, you're playing video games?
I am. And
What?
boys, it's a goatee.
Hmm.
It's a goatee. I mean, I know
What is
that's Animal Well.
Animal
And
Well? Is a goatee? What am I missing?
you are simply not trying.
I'm not far enough.
And you're not far enough. Yeah. I think
I tried again this weekend. I did. I like fired it up, played it for like 5 minutes, and I was like, I'm gonna go play F-Zero again.
I think 5 minutes is the important factor there. I don't know. I think I'm at 7 hours. So I'm not talking like, this isn't Baldur's Gate.
But it's also not that long of a game, right, TJ? It's like kind of
terribly long, but it also like has a post game that goes on for like as long as you want it to.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Huh.
It's for me, the thing that keeps coming to mind is Lost. And when you would watch Lost, like in seasons 1 through 3, like the show and the cinematography and the characters, all the beginning of prestige television, Lost, and all of that was like fundamentally very well executed. Sort of from like a base layer. Some some film student would have better language to describe why Lost was very competent as a television show, especially back then. But the thing that really made Lost special was that like the episode would end and you would not be able to stop thinking about it. And your mind would race and be like, what is that dude doing in the bunker? And that's what's happening with Animal Well. And I think if you give it a little more time, Asif, it'll start to curl around your brain. And I don't even mean just like you have to find that, the Basso describes what he built as having 4 layers, each with, more obtuseness. And the 4th layer being something he doesn't expect anybody to find for years, if ever. I'm saying even the base layer is really satisfying as I've unraveled it. I'm in that second layer of the the secrets a bit, and I'm really impressed. And to say more would be TJ, I'm sure could attest. To say more would spoil it, I think, and the whole the whole point of the thing is to sort of discover what the heck is going on. So I would encourage you to I don't have a say in the Shack News must play, so I don't know if it's already there, but if I did, I would call this a must play. This thing's incredible.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay. I will go back to it again, but
I think give it like 90 minutes. That's my suggestion.
It might
really
just be I suck at the game too, though. It could just be I'm
curious.
bad
Like,
at it.
Have you narrowed in like on exactly what it is that makes you bounce off the game, Asif?
I just keep dying at this one part, and I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. I also just kind of I think it really boils down to I don't really like Metroidvanias. Like, I think that's a core problem with it. And I also kind of like there's this weird like I know they're not the same genre, but there's something similar between Souls-likes and Metroidvanias that rub me wrong, like the wrong way, like both genres. And yeah, it's probably a good game. It just hasn't hit with me yet. So we'll see. And like I'm trying to think of the last time I actually beat a Metroidvania, and I honestly can't. And I definitely haven't beat a Souls-like before. So I think it's probably me more than the game kind of thing. But yeah, I'll give it another try.
I'm not in the business of convincing anyone. I will just say that everything you're saying about Metroidvanias, I feel tenfold.
Mm-hmm.
Dark Souls, I'm bad at. I really like the idea of it, and I wish I was better at it. But Metroidvania, yeah, it's a formula that is opposed. Magnetism is opposite me, and despite that, yeah, there's 90 minutes.
It does feel nice, like the game when you're in it. I do think they've created a cool environment, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll just keep playing.
Indeed, but in the meantime, what have you been playing lately?
Oh man, I am deep into Vampire Survivors again. Operation Guns has a adventure mode that is, I think, 6 or 7 levels long, and I'm on level 6 right now. I've unlocked about 4 of the characters in the DLC so far. There's like 16 of them. I am a little frustrated at times because like the game never really tells you what to do. So you don't know what the win condition is on some levels to unlock the next one. Like for level 5, they were just like, keep shooting and run to the right. And I'm like, that's that's the original Contra. That's not Vampire Survivors.
Yeah.
So it's like they're just trolling at this point. No, it's great. All the new weapons are really fun. I love the homing missile and having this combo where you have like the Vampire Survivor kit and you have these guns. Man, it's fun. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. Highly recommend
Nice.
it. And I've been playing it on. It's gotten me playing on PC again because I have something like 180 hours on the PC version of that game. So yeah, I have the most stuff unlocked.
Do you ever go lurking around in the challenges in that game? Because sometimes the challenges tell you like something that can be unlocked. Like they're kind of spoilery sometimes, but I've used them more than once to figure out a level.
Yeah. Oh no, I've done that. On the like original side, I haven't done that on any of the new stuff. And I know there's other DLC for this game too, but this one just slaps really hard. Operation
Really
Guns
good.
is so good.
Cool.
Highly recommend it to everyone out there. So yeah, been playing that. I will probably keep playing it until I have no more adventure levels. And then even after that, I think I'm just going to kind of go back to playing the game because there's a lot like I hadn't really, I took like, I don't know, a half a year or 9 months off of the game. And then I came back and there's like new levels and new characters and new unlocks. So yeah, I want to keep playing it. And then, yeah, fired up Animal Well this weekend, played it for 5 minutes. Said, this is maybe I'm just not in the right mindset for it, but I am in the right mindset for F-Zero 99. So I have been playing F-Zero 99, yes.
What?
And I have some updates. I know
Whoa.
it's shocking. I know the folks at home are shocked. So yeah, I've already won F-Zero 99 that mode, and I won team mode. We mentioned it last week. So now I have the number 2 floating above my car when I'm in a lobby. So that's kind of neat. But I've been playing mini pre, classic mini pre, Grand Prix, Pro Tracks, and Team still. So, I'm having a good run with Team. There's a challenge in the game for, I think it's win 20 team battles, and I'm like 12 in so far. So I'm going to keep doing that. I basically just play whatever the special event is at any given time. But yeah, I have some updates on my Grand Prix. I played, I want to say it was the Night League, Mirror Night League, which reminded folks at home, I did place first in Mute City Mirror. But yeah, this is the Night League, but mirror mode. I placed 13th overall. I finished that Grand Prix. And then again, I played just the regular Night League sorry, it was actually another I flipped it. I played Night League and I placed 13th. I played Mirror Night League and I finished 9th overall in the Grand Prix. And then last night, I played Queen League Grand Prix, which I absolutely hate. I hate Queen League. It's trash. And I finished 6th overall in that Grand Prix.
Wait, why is it
so
trash?
That's 3 Grand Prix that I completed in the last week, Joe.
Well, that's incredible. That's incredible. Why is it trash?
Why is Queen League trash? I really dislike Mute City 2. The levels in it are, I have the screenshots up. Mute City 2, Port Town 1, Red Canyon 1, Whiteland 1, Whiteland 2. Out of those 5 levels, I like 2 of them. So it's just my least favorite. I think the Whiteland levels are fine, but they're not my favorite because your car will slide all over the place.
Sure.
And Mute City 2, it takes the straightaway from Mute City that's in Mute City 1 and 3, and it puts a freaking roundabout in it. And you know how I feel about roundabouts, Joe. I hate them.
Sure.
I feel like the people who sell roundabouts to city planners are like the monorail guy from The Simpsons. And I don't trust anyone who would put a roundabout, especially in a racing game. What are you doing?
What are you doing?
So yeah, I got beef with Mute City 2. So that's mainly that. Here are my rivals of the week. I will say I'm seeing the same people in these Grand Prix. I mentioned it before. I feel like it's tryhard central there. So DB9, I beat him in a few races. He beat me in a few races. I played against someone just named Yo, just YO. That was their name.
Okay.
Had a rival named Pillow Fort. Big fan of Pillow Fort.
Solid.
Trying to see. who else we had? We had some good ones over the last few days. Yeah, I think Pillow Fort might have been my favorite one of the last week. I'm trying to see if I remember I wasn't going up against them, but I saw them in the lobby. Their name was Kirby Gamer. I had to give them a shout out.
Sure.
But yeah, it was good. Nice week of F-Zero. I feel like I'm trending upwards still. I'm playing better. And that most recent Queen League one that I did, I mentioned how I hate Mute City 2. I was actually in first place for 2 laps on that race. And I think I finished it like 12th because I had a really bad 4th lap. So that was frustrating. But yeah, like, I don't know. There's like, I don't know. I was me placing 6th overall in the Grand Prix that I hate is a sign of just how good I'm getting at this game, in my opinion. Because 5 months ago, there was no shot of me placing that high. So
not unlike microplastics, it's becoming a part of you. It's an extension of yourself.
I don't think the University of New Mexico has done any studies to find out if F-099 is in anyone's balls. But if it was, I guess I would be patient zero. But yeah. Yeah. Those are really the only 2 games I played this last week. Vampire TJ, we talked about Vampire Survivors. It's not that it disrespects your time, it just eats your time. So
it's a life fast forward button. That's the way I've always described it.
Which oddly enough, I used it for that purposes while the Knicks were losing on Game 7. I just threw that on. And I was like, this will help me get through this Knicks game. And it did. It did. It's really good for that.
I always try to make sure that that game is updated as much as it can be updated before I jump on a plane, because it truly does move a flight along very quickly.
My like flight game, I had a couple, but the one that I would always go back to was Breath of the Wild's Trial of the Sword, because I never beat that DLC. Just not that tough. Surprising. Because have you tried, Joe, to beat that thing?
I did. I gave up quickly.
Yeah, it's hard. It's very hard.
Super hard.
It's like they're like, here, have a Dark Souls mode. I'm like, I don't want a Dark Souls mode. But yeah, I don't know. I think if you beat it, the Master Sword gets to like 60 overall. It never discharges or something. So there's like a reason to get it. But yeah, I have no shot. But yeah, haven't played Zelda in a few weeks. Pretty good. But yeah, those are the games I've been playing.
Nice.
And it says John here is John says he's playing Judgment, Animal Well,
yep,
and Melatonin. Is that like a game, or just is he using melatonin?
Yeah, he's just listing his nightly ritual. Melatonin, he
plays Judgment, then he takes the melatonin, then he plays Animal Well. Okay, I got it. Applied directly to the forehead.
I think, yeah, I found it. Melatonin is overwhelmingly positive on Steam, so that's always wait,
it's a real. So this is a real game.
It's a rhythm game.
Oh, that's right up his alley. He likes stuff like that. He's playing that. Okay, that's neat. Good for him.
I'm interested to see where he falls with Judgment, because Judgment is like the Phoenix Wright of Yakuza games.
Wow, this game has a 10 out of 10 on Steam right now.
Yeah,
with 4,925 reviews. Huh? Came out 2 years ago.
Yeah,
weird. Anyway, well, there's your update on what John's playing, and yeah, like you said, Joe, we got another game coming up here.
Oh boy, do we! This is a weird one, bit of an experiment, but I know that both of you will try your darndest. So let's take a quick break, and then I will meet you right back here with something I like to call TV Toys, the game. You're listening to TV Toys, a segment on Shack Together that I came up with while dozing off last night. So bear with me. But in this game, I will give you a stylized reinterpretation of a popular video game's name. You can interpret the name however you like. I'm not promising any patterns to the clues. The first contestant, the first of you to hit 3 correct answers, wins the game. And I'll give you an example of what I mean. So I might give you a clue, marsupial collision. And the answer to that clue would be Crash Bandicoot.
Mm-hmm.
Do you all understand? And are you ready?
Yes.
Okay.
So you're going to say words, and then we're going to
Yep.
say a game title. And then do we have
Yes.
to chime in with our name to answer, or is this, how does that work?
That's exactly right.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So you say TJ and I say Asif TJ.
Okay.
I don't say Asif TJ, I just say Asif.
One of you could say Joe if you felt like that would be fine too. Whatever you want to do.
Okay.
Okay. Round 1. Here we go. I have no idea how this is going to go. The clue is half dozen Avenue combatant.
Oh, TJ.
Go ahead, TJ.
It's Street Fighter 6.
Okay.
God. I'm
Nicely
gonna
done.
get killed. I'm gonna die in this game. This is not. I don't know. Good one,
Hey.
TJ. That's seriously like GTA 6. I don't know.
The next clue is Planet of Battle Machine. Planet of Battle Machine.
Tough one.
Awesome.
Okay.
Is it Battlefield 2042?
Incorrect.
I know.
TJ, you want to take a stab or we're going to move on?
TJ.
Okay.
World of Warships?
Incorrect. I'm not going to tell you the answer in case we need a tiebreaker. I'm going to scoot past.
Okay. Well, you got to tell us the answer at some point.
I will, of course.
Okay.
The next clue is Mammal Sewer.
Awesome.
Mammal. Okay.
Animal well.
That's right. He's on the board. He's on the board.
Mammal sewer.
Hey, you got it.
Yeah.
You got it. The next clue is 5th letter loathing. Again, 5th letter loathing, comma, again, 5th letter loathing. Again,
This is
5th letter loathing. Again.
awesome.
Okay.
Devil May Cry 5.
Incorrect.
Yeah, of course it is.
5th letter loathing.
I don't know.
Oh my gosh. Some of these are really hard.
1. Okay, I'm going to scoot past it. We'll come back. The clue is Horned Horses Commander. Horned Horses Commander.
Horned Horses Commander.
Horned Horses Commander.
Horned
Oh my gosh.
horses? What the hell? Horned horses coming. Oh, awesome.
Okay.
God, this is stupid. Unicorn Overlord?
Correct.
Wow.
You got it.
What? Good hint, Joe. TJ reviewed that, by the way.
I need more, Eddie, TJ. I need more.
I'm trying.
The next clue is
I'm just proud that Synapse fired.
Yeah, no, me too. Because I'm getting nervous. I'm like, am I on another planet right now? Planet of Battle Machine? The next clue is going up for Vendetta. Going up for Vendetta.
Going up.
Going up for Vendetta.
TJ.
Okay.
I'm going to take a shot in the dark here.
Yeah.
Metal Gear Rising Revengeance?
A great guess, but incorrect.
Can you repeat the hint?
Yes. The clue is going up for Vendetta.
Going up for Vendetta. I don't know. I'm going to just throw something out there.
Okay.
Red Dead Redemption.
Incorrect.
Yeah, figured.
The next clue is Deep Blue Infinity. Deep Blue Infinity.
Awesome. Endless Ocean Luminous.
You got it. Oh man, we have a winner already.
That was a really, really difficult one. I need to know what Planet of the Battle Machines was.
Yeah, you got to tell us these ones.
I will. I have a few more too, which I'm actually I kind of want to lob at you right now. Since we moved pretty quickly, so I'm going to give you one more. Asif is the winner officially, but for fun.
Okay.
The next clue is Fantastic Sword. Fantastic Sword.
Infinity Blade?
Incorrect.
Xenoblade Chronicles.
It's a good guess. Both are good guesses. No. All right. At the end, I'm going to give you all of them. I have 2 here.
Okay.
The clue is oldest symbol of marriage. Oldest symbol of marriage. Yeah.
Elden Ring.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I'm getting this. I'm understanding the meta of this game now.
You're seeping into my brain. And my final clue for you is The Last Fiction. The Last Fiction.
Oh, awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Final Fantasy.
Yes, he's got it. Okay.
This is
All right.
I don't know what is unlocked in my brain, but this game is right up my alley for some reason.
You're there. You're in my head. Planet of Battle Machine, referred to, of course, World of Warcraft.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
Fantastic sword, not Infinity Blade, but Stellar Blade. Stellar and fantastic, more of a synonym there than Infinity. Let's see. What didn't we get? Going Up for Vendetta. This one is obtuse, certainly. Apologies. Going Up for Vendetta is a clue for V Rising.
Oh. I was like, is this Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy? I was like, oh. But yeah, okay. That was a bad clue. No offense. I'm just saying, out of all that was the weirdest one by far.
You could say it's tough and not bad. Wow.
No, I meant bad relative to your other clues that were excellent.
Speaking of really tough, but not bad, and brilliant, perhaps some might say. Fifth Letter Loathing again.
Persona 5,
Hades 2.
Hey,
Fifth Letter Loathing again. Think about it.
Fifth Letter Loathing.
I don't get it.
I still don't see it. Yeah, like
I have no idea what you're talking about, Joe. Hades is a 5-letter word.
I knew this one would be a stumper. I didn't think even after I explained it would be. Fifth letter in the alphabet is the letter E. Loathing refers to hating E. Hades.
Oh.
Again.
Wow.
Oh.
You hit a phonetic puzzle in that.
Yeah. Okay. Fifth. Yeah. There was no shot either of us had that one.
I promised no patterns. I delivered no patterns.
No, impressive, but also baffling because that one was weird. Nice.
Well, thank you for playing. Asif is the champion. Who won last week?
TJ.
That was me.
Wow.
TJ had a come from behind victory.
That's right.
Week. He won
That's
3
right.
straight to beat me, but I came back and I understood this series of gibberish quizzes or whatever.
Nice. Well, great. Well, thanks for playing. Congratulations to Asif on winning the first installment of TV Toys, the game. We're going to take a quick break and head over to story time with Asif. Here we go.
Welcome to Storytime. Let's dive into the latest stories from the past week, but also noting that we are recording this on Wednesday before NVIDIA reports earnings, so if you're wondering why we're not talking about NVIDIA earnings, it's because we don't know. But let's hit these quickies, trademarked by Joe. Tesla is ending Steam support in its vehicles. Did you know that Tesla supported Steam in its vehicles, guys?
I did.
Okay.
I remember that silly headline from a couple years ago, and
Yeah.
I know I'm bummed.
Yeah, right.
They made a big fat deal out of it when they were talking about you can play Cyberpunk in The Witcher 3 in your car.
Mm-hmm.
And we all did.
And now you can't.
Yeah.
I've never used the Steam function in my Tesla. I've used the gaming function a couple of times. I don't know. It's not great. It's a fine feature to have when you're parked or whatever. I think that the thing that people seem to be using more on that screen than anything is just the Netflix website. Like logging into Netflix and just watching stuff in your car is pretty useful. Obviously, you have to do that while you're parked. But yeah, this is just like, I think Tesla's at this point now where they're firing everybody who's not making them money, and that's a large group of people. I'm guessing the Steam integration was one of those things that just, what was the point of it?
Yeah.
But now it's gone, or it's going to end, so they can focus on maybe making cars that don't fall apart. Next
Or
up,
rust when going through a car wash.
Yeah, or just look like a dumpster. Anyway, Elon Musk really doing genius work there. Larian Studios announces a Warsaw studio as it's working on 2, not 1, 2 very ambitious role-playing games. So Larian doubling down on themselves here after the success of Baldur's Gate 3. Seems like great news.
Love to see it.
Actually a good news story. How about that?
Honestly,
let's just bask in the glow of this nice story about video games.
Starting this podcast when we did, it was just hubris, I think. Gaming
That was
hubris.
perfect timing. There was definitely not enough gaming podcasts, especially with a bunch of dudes with microplastics in their balls. Speaking of microplastics in his balls, Jason Voorhees is slashing onto the MultiVersus roster. This roster is getting weirder by the day, TJ.
What a weird design for Jason Voorhees in the first place. He looks like a dump truck.
He's huge.
He looks like the heavy from Team Fortress 2 put on a Jason Voorhees costume.
That's exactly what he looks like. And then, like, they also announced Agent Smith from the Matrix, but we don't have Neo or Trinity yet. It's like, what are you doing? Can we? I don't know. I'm wishing success for this game, but it's a Warner Brothers Games property, so
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead, TJ. What were you saying?
I was just saying, like, it's definitely like it's villain themed. It's a villain themed season, so I get that. It's just that why would you introduce a villain for which that's the one character in the thing so far? Like, I don't mind Agent Smith, but like, why would you start with Agent Smith?
Yeah, seemed kind of weird. But we did get Joker, so I guess there's Joker and Batman. I don't know. Maybe Lex Luthor would have been better than Agent Smith here because you already have Spider-Man, or you already have Superman and Wonder Woman and stuff. I don't know.
And I mean, Jason Voorhees makes sense because Jason Voorhees is the star of Friday the 13th. He's the guy.
Yeah. But nice. So yeah, that game's on track to come out, I think, in like 9 days or 10 days.
Yes.
So yeah, got that.
I also have to appreciate that his throw move in the game is he gathers them up in a sleeping bag and can swing them around as a melee weapon.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, we reviewed another game. Nintendo actually released a video game, or is releasing a video game this week, which is surprising in 2024. Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door for Nintendo Switch. It's good. It's very good, and it looks great. It plays great. This is probably, I think this might be the best Paper Mario game in this franchise history. So to see this one come back and have it look gorgeous and run great, that's good news all around for Nintendo fans. I did think I want to just bring this up. I thought it was kind of interesting that the game did not leak. I don't know if you guys noticed that. Like, there was no leak.
Yeah, you were saying that's pretty cool.
Like, it's the first time that Nintendo has shipped a game that hasn't leaked. And I think it's related to what they did on the retail side, because there was a story about how people were getting their pre-orders canceled for the collector's editions at Walmart. I think Nintendo has figured out the hole in their pre-launch situation that led to Tears of the Kingdom being leaked, that led to Mario Wonder being leaked, that led to RPG being leaked and Pikmin 4 being leaked. And I'm not talking just about gameplay. We're talking about the ROMs of these games were being leaked before the game came out. It was retail. Someone was breaking street date, because you have stock boys, stock ladies, stock people working at all these different retailers. They can just kind of pull one out of inventory and sell it for $150, you know what I mean, to their content creator buddies or someone who knows how to rip ROMs out of cartridges. So I think this is one way to handle that by Nintendo is don't deliver them until like the day before or the night before. Sure. So it may lead to less people having their collector's edition on Friday, but it definitely prevented the leaks. So maybe this is the future for Nintendo here. It does suck for people who like buying physical editions of games and also like collectors, but if it prevents spoilers, I'm kind of here for it.
Yeah,
sure. But interesting situation.
And this is like the most beloved of Paper Mario games. So like there was a lot of anticipation for this one. So if they could have leaked it, they absolutely would have.
Yeah. Oh, no doubt. And there's a large group of people on the internet who hate everything Nintendo's doing, and they actively are trying to ruin people's day by spoiling things. So yeah, good on Nintendo for finding a way to fight back and not blaming it on the content creators and the reviewers, because we sign ironclad NDAs with them, and you would be insane to intentionally break a Nintendo embargo because they have very, very accomplished lawyers and they will destroy you. So it is, I'm happy to see that they're dealing with this. I had a conversation with their PR last year about this, and it's good to see that things are moving on that front. And we're moving on to the next story because these are quickies.
Yep.
Ghost of Tsushima is PlayStation's best-selling PC port just days after its launch. So that means it's sold more than Death Stranding on PC, which is impressive.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's also a really, really, really good port.
Yeah.
Like, I think one of the best that PlayStation has done. And it's been hit or miss over there. Some of their ports to PC have been kind of bad, and some of them have been great. I've heard a lot of people just raving about the frame rate in Ghost of Tsushima on PC, all the stuff you can do with, lighting effects and stuff. That game was gorgeous when it came out. Was that a PS4 game?
It
Or was
was.
it PS5? It was a PS4 game. Wow.
Mhm.
It looked great on PS4. So I think it's one of those games where art style kind of carried the tech at that time. But yeah,
and
it's great.
it eventually got its PS5 upgrade.
That's right.
I would also like to point out that I think a lot of the quality of the port goes to Nix's. Nix's software has been helping PlayStation with a lot of their ports, including they did both Spider-Man games, they did Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, and then they did the Horizon games. And as far as I know, I think the second Horizon got some flack.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as I know, Ratchet and Clank and the Spider-Man games were much beloved when they made it over to PC as well.
Oh, they ran great. All three of those. I think that the Decima engine that Horizon is built on, it may be harder to bring to PC, but the Decima engine also powers Death Stranding, and Death Stranding, whether you like the game or not, it's an excellent PC port. So yeah, you're right. There is like the track record for Nix's is pretty good at this point. And they're owned by Sony now, right? So they're just gonna be doing this probably all day, which actually kind of segues into our next story perfectly. Nintendo acquired Shiver Entertainment from Embracer. So Shiver Entertainment most recently is known for the ports on Nintendo Switch for Hogwarts Legacy and Mortal Kombat 1. Now, Mortal Kombat 1 on Nintendo Switch is a god-awful port. Like, terrible.
Yeah.
Now, I don't necessarily think it's Shiver Entertainment's fault that it came out that bad, but when I saw that, I was like, oh. Nintendo did mention that they do aim to allow this port studio to continue their work porting games to other platforms too. But I guess really what's going on here, this is almost like reactionary to that news story last week about Square refocusing on multi-platform launches as opposed to exclusives. Nintendo's like, well, why don't we get someone who can actually help you with that? And, while I did just dog them for their MK1 port, that was Warner Brothers that made the call to ship that, right? Where I think Nintendo overseeing Shiver might have a higher standard than a third party would, that was just trying to get their game out on Switch.
Yeah.
So yeah, right. Interesting deal though. Nintendo does not really buy things very often, so I thought that was cool. I do wonder, like, why not Panic Button? Why not Iron Galaxy? There's a couple other port houses out there that are like very good at porting games to Switch. The reason I bring up Panic Button, they're the ones who ported Doom Eternal, and Rocket League over to Switch. And those are some very, very, very good ports. So maybe this is the beginning of something over there at the big end, but yeah, they acquired Shiver Entertainment. And congratulations to everyone at Shiver who was working at Embracer, but is now working for Nintendo. That's got to be an awesome feeling.
Yeah, that's an upgrade. Yep.
So yeah, those were our quickies. I think that, yeah, we did it. Yeah. So now for our longies, or as apparently it's been rebranded, the weekly AI bonanza. God, I hope it's not weekly, but it's certainly
it has been.
Look, I can't help it that Satya Nadella has just a huge boner for AI right now. Like, he can't stop. He literally can't. But at least not all of it's like good news for AI. Some of this is like, hey, look how creepy they are. Scarlett Johansson says the OpenAI CEO contacted her about using her voice in the pulled GPT-4 Omni update. So how everyone's like, wow, that really sounds like her from the movie Her. Yeah, well, they tried to get Scarlett Johansson to sign off on using her voice, and then when she said no, they just kind of did it anyway.
Insane.
That's so sleazy.
Yeah, it's almost like these AI people don't understand how to interact with humans at all. And I don't know. There's been like an exodus. We talked about it last week. There's been like 50 people who have left OpenAI in the last week, which goes into the second story. OpenAI reportedly failed to keep promise to control potentially dangerous AI models. The entire safety team at OpenAI has quit in the last 2 weeks. I think it's directly related to this. So now we have a CEO who lied about the Scarlett Johansson thing, and then when he got caught in the lie, didn't really. I don't think he really apologized. They just pulled the update. So yeah, Sam Altman, he was the poster child of this company just last year, but now he's kind of I don't know. He doesn't. The company is weird, right? Because it was founded as a nonprofit organization and then they pivoted to being a for-profit. They have like it's a nonprofit company that owns a subsidiary that's for profit. That just seems shady.
What it is? Is that how it is right now?
That is correct. Yes. Right now, there are two shareholders of OpenAI, the company. One is OpenAI, the nonprofit, and one is Microsoft. And they both put money into OpenAI, and then OpenAI pays their shareholders. It's weird.
That is
incredibly weird.
And Elon Musk has look, not a fan of Elon for a lot of things. He's right about OpenAI. He helped found that company, and he wanted it to be open source and nonprofit, because the minute you create a profit-driven AI company, you lose some of your morals. And when you're the most powerful AI model in the world and you're just trying to abuse actresses and people, you're gonna get it. And Scarlett Johansson, she stood up for actors last year during the Screen Actors Guild strike, and she actually pushed for that language about AI likenesses to be included in the deals with Disney and stuff. So she's actually, and her legal team, they've kind of been at the forefront of this stuff. So good on her. I applaud her for standing up to these people. And shame on OpenAI for just being god awful.
It was what a bizarre shift as well from only months ago when Microsoft was about to fire Sam Altman and the entire company was about to walk with him.
Oh no, OpenAI fired Sam Altman, and then Microsoft created a division for AI to try to hire him. He was there for like a day, and then you're right, a bunch of people left so that he would come back. Like you're right. It's the last, I want to say like 7 months at this company have been very strange from a corporate management standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's all these rumors coming out about stuff like, I don't know. There's some weird stuff going on over at OpenAI right now. And yeah, he famously said, we could burn $50 billion a year and I wouldn't care. You know who would? Everyone who wants OpenAI to turn a profit. So yeah, speaking of which, Microsoft, you know those tastemakers in the consumer electronics space, right, Joe?
That's typically how I describe them, yeah.
Yeah, cutting edge technology firm out of Redmond, Washington.
Right.
Satya Nadella took his shoe out of his mouth for long enough to talk about these AI powered PCs that they're building. They're going to use a Qualcomm chipset. So they're calling these Copilot plus PC. So you're going to have AI computers now. One of the things that came out of this interview and announcement is that Windows 11 is going to have a feature called Recall that will take screenshots of everything you do on your computer so it can learn how you use your computer to better help you. Because that's what this is about. It's not about just acquiring more data. It's about helping you. And Satya Nadella was really fast to say, hey, look, these aren't going to be stored in the cloud. They're going to be stored on the chip. But it's like, okay, that's good from a cloud information security perspective, but like physical IT security, if your computer is stolen in a situation where it's not turned off, now you have a stranger who can look at every screenshot of everything you've ever done on your computer, including typing passwords or logging into your bank website. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry for cutting you off, but like I say this every week, but like why?
Yeah, this is clearly solving problems that don't exist. This one for sure. This is why I keep getting at about Microsoft, man. They have no idea what consumers want ever. And then they make stuff like this.
I'm imagining handing my father-in-law his new Windows 11 PC and be like, it's going to watch you work. First of all, he's going to be creeped out, and then it's going to learn from him that he can't print something. Like that's what it's going to learn, is that he has trouble like printing a PDF.
Yeah, and also like they had, a good company would have used Clippy as the face of your AI, but no, we have Copilot. Clippy was just sitting there waiting to be called up to the big game.
Just sitting there.
I hate Microsoft.
I wonder, like, the only thing I can think of as use for this is to have a more stable system in which you can make snapshots of your system that you can restore if something goes terribly wrong.
Which they already have.
But yeah, they already have that system. So if it
system restore, that's a whole thing that already exists.
So like if it improved upon that, that would be nice, because that system can fail, I've seen. And in fact, I saw that happen this year earlier when I had some issues with my laptop.
For sure.
But so if they improved upon that, that would be a great use of AI. But monitoring me all the time sounds horribly
so that you
invasive.
can compute when you're not at your desk, TJ.
Yeah, they want to turn your computer into an AI agent that will then do your work for you. But it's like, I don't know if you can do the work for me. I don't.
Yeah, I love that to say that there is an opportunity for good case use there, and it doesn't seem like they're going that direction.
No, they're just shoving AI into everything they can, and they're also ruining Windows 11. There's ads on Windows 11. I got notified that my computer is not. It will not be able to upgrade to Windows 11. So my computer that I'm talking to you on right now will go obsolete. I think it's August 2025 is when they're going to stop supporting Windows 10.
It's pretty soon.
Yeah, I might. I was talking to my brother about this last night. And you know how I famously told you, Joe, that I've moved away from the Macintosh environment for my workflow. This bullshit, this stuff, taking screenshots of my computer and making AI powered everything. This is going to push me over back to Apple. I'm at the point now where Adobe Premiere has been optimized for the M series chip, so I could use that for that. I guess streaming would be the one thing I would still need a PC for, because I don't really think Macs are very good at streaming. The OBS is not feature parity and stuff, but yeah, this week from Microsoft definitely has me looking at like, okay, next computer I get will be a MacBook Pro, or maybe like, I don't know, the Mac Mini even.
Those are nice.
You know what I mean? Like, they're not that expensive. There's a decent amount of power in them if you get the right config. So yeah, anyway, I got time. My computer has until 2025 until it dies. But yeah, like, what are they doing over these companies, man? I don't know. And just some other, since we're in the AI zone right now, this isn't an article that we wrote at Shack News, but the story came out last night. Remember Humane AI Pin?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. They are, by the way, this was supposed to be delivered to me in March, then April, then May. Still have not received it. They are trying to sell their company for between 750 million and $1 billion.
That's a quick turnaround from startup and announcing a product to we're looking to sell.
And total lack of fulfillment.
And lacking any fulfillment of your customers. Like they're like, we have a supply chain problem. I'm like, I think you have a cash flow problem. And I may never get that thing. That's what I'm thinking. But who would buy them for $750 million? Who is dumb enough to do that? Microsoft? Probably.
The economy is all about like perception, right? Like it's like just like buying a house now. I was saying this to my wife a couple weeks ago, where when we were buying our house like 5 years ago, it didn't matter. Like the house could have been on fire while we were doing the open house, and it would not have affected the price. It's about the comp on the street, and it's about what's possible on the lot. And like that is the way companies are valued now. It's like the premise of AI, this nascent technology that is very much half-baked, you know, just like anything would be 2 years into its lifespan. It's about what's possible, and it's about like, you know, creating this fantastical pitch that makes that worth near $1 billion, even though there's no fulfillment. It's insane, but
it's snake oil sales just
really
applied to tech. That's what I'm seeing. It's not, I don't know. I think that there are, and I've said this before about AI, like there's going to be things that are useful that come out of artificial intelligence. There's going to be useful tools. But at the same time, we're seeing a land grab, cash grab, gold rush occurring right now. And most of these entities that are making these plays are going to fail. Humane being one of them. And I tweeted it out because this is how I feel about acquisitions in general. Why buy Humane AI when you could just let them go bankrupt and buy their parts for cheaper?
Well, that would take know-how. I think the snake oil is not universally known. That is, people are falling for it.
Yeah,
Even
but VCs tend to be smarter than the average bear. So it's like if you saw the Marquez Brownlee review of the Humane AI pin, and then you see they haven't delivered like many at all, and then it just seems kind of bad. Like you didn't ship a good product. Why do you think you're worth $1 billion? Like that's my question for them, is why do you think you're worth $1 billion? And you're like, your whole point is that there's this kabuki theater that goes on for all these pitches where it's like, here's our total addressable market, and here's where we can hit if this, and this happens. So hypothetically, based on 2030 cash flows, we're actually giving you a deal for buying us for $1 billion. You know what I mean? I get that argument. I understand how financial modeling works like that. But if your present day company is in such dire straits that you've gone from pounding your chest just a month ago to now acting like you're not going to, like when I hear that they need to raise that amount of money, I immediately said, I don't think I'm ever going to get this device. Like, I don't think it's ever going to get delivered. And it was $700 that I paid. And I don't know if I can even, I don't know, maybe I should request a refund, but I was going to try to review that. And yeah, I don't know. So it just seems weird. Like they learned nothing from the past few months. That was my takeaway, is that these people are so oblivious that they're like, they just had the worst 2 months maybe any startup could ever have. And they're like, yeah, we're still worth $1 billion, you guys. It's like, no, you're not. You're not.
That's funny.
But yeah. And then, yeah, just another story about dumb money entering a space at a stupid time. Did you see Rolling Stone is spinning up a gaming vertical website again?
Yeah, I was going to say they did that already.
Yeah, Glixel.
Right.
And it got killed. So they're doing it again. This time it's backed by Saudi money.
Okay.
Huh.
All right.
So can't wait. Can't wait to read whatever the hell Rolling Stone gaming will be. Although smart of them to actually use the Rolling Stone brand this time as opposed to Glixel. But yeah, I don't know. Would you spin up a gaming vertical in 2024?
Would I?
No.
Yeah.
Like, have you looked around the environment at what's happening? Like, have any of these people looked around at the environment at what's happening? Like, why now? Why this time in particular?
Yeah. I was just like, okay, good work, guys. Good luck with that. And then, yeah, it'd be dumb of us not to mention what happened yesterday with IGN. So I'm just going to mention it.
It's like the forest is burning. Let's build a cabin in the middle of it while it's still burning.
IGN bought Gamer Network. So they now owned Eurogamer, GamesIndustry.biz, VG247, and Rock Paper Shotgun. And yeah, they have already turned around and started firing people. Brendan Sinclair, the EIC over at GamesIndustry.biz, he got let go almost immediately. Jeffrey Russo over there at GamesIndustry.biz got let go. I thought the news editor over at VG247, the news editor at Rock Paper Shotgun. So it's interesting that IGN has employees that are organizing or have already organized into a union. And their first thing that they do when they acquire a company is immediately start firing people.
That's such a shame about games industry too, because there is not a lot of people out there. There is not a lot of outlets out there that do what they do as well as they do.
I would say the only ones left at this point are GameDeveloper.com and whatever VentureBeat GamesBeat is. But yeah, I used to write for GamesIndustry.biz, so I'm not happy to see what's happening over there. But yeah, it's it's a question that I figure this is my show. I might as well ask it here. It's a question I've had over the last day about this. Is this deal anti-competitive?
Yes.
Yes.
These are all like,
should it be blocked?
Yes.
How?
FTC.
But who, let's say you own, let's just play a hypothetical here. Let's say you own a gaming website that wasn't acquired yesterday.
Yep.
And you're witnessing the largest competitor that you have literally swallow up 5 other very large competitors. What would you do to get the FTC to even look at this? Because my question is games media and the broader internet media in such a bad place right now that it's impossible to argue that anyone has a monopoly? Or is it so small that, you know, they let Facebook go to 3 billion users, right? They let YouTube go to its size. They let Google go to its size, Apple. So in this world where we have these $1 trillion behemoths that weren't broken up, does IGN just look like small potatoes to them over there in the regulation biz?
Am I wrong that Facebook got there semi-organically and IGN is buying their way?
I mean, Facebook acquired Instagram and they acquired WhatsApp to do that.
That's true. Yeah.
And Google acquired YouTube, right? And Microsoft bought LinkedIn. So,
I mean, in light of all the layoffs that, you know, like on the macro scale, the tech layoffs, if you would lump this kind of thing in with that pillar, you know, that kind of constitutes that it's not small potatoes. Like there's a large contingent of America that's without work over the past 6 months.
Yeah.
And so if this is in that bucket, I think even if it's not in that bucket, I'm just, you know, being conservative here. It's absolutely worth a look. Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know why the problem I have with this situation, I've said this before, there is very little solidarity amongst the outlets that remain. Like you don't see us working together very often because there's like, it's not animosity or disrespect, but it's like paddling your own canoe kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
But for this deal to be blocked, it's going to require coordination of the entire industry. And I just don't, I think the people in positions to make those decisions, maybe outside of me, I don't know if there's any appetite for it. And I don't want to be the only people trying to fight this deal. And
I'm sure you would get help, you know, but it would be so, you know, unfortunately to get someone to pay attention to the problem, it would take so much effort and time and work.
And money.
To shine a spotlight and money, yeah.
So it's like one of these things where I'm like, I think that's anti-competitive, but I also think I'm not going to do anything about it because IGN has done this before. So it's, I guess there's precedent on their front. But yeah, it's just shitty. I don't like this. I don't like that Eurogamer and IGN are under the same umbrella now. And I'm really interested to see where this goes. I did have a horrible monkey paw curling thought, and I'll just mention it here so that when it does happen, we can point back to this episode. But yeah, I think back to like IGN, they did that, what was it, ID at Xbox? TJ, didn't they do an IGN stream for ID at Xbox?
Yes.
That was like a month ago. And IGN Live is going to have an interview with Phil Spencer, right?
Yeah.
So it seems like Microsoft and IGN are in bed together. Wouldn't it be just the most 2024 thing ever if IGN announces a partnership with Microsoft on Copilot AI guides?
Wow. I hate everything you just said. I hate it so thoroughly. And
it kind of makes sense why they would buy all these websites if they were about to do something like that.
Oh, that sounds so bad.
It would crash and burn pretty fast. I mean, that would be, you know, that would be a good thing. Just let it unravel.
But just based on the track that we're on, ask yourself the question, why did IGN buy these sites? Because their page views are down, their revenue's down. This was an easy way to grow page views and revenues this year. Sure, but maybe there's something else there.
I mean, they're also one of the groups. I mean, IGN is so ridiculously into advertising on their site to the point where
you can't even read an article.
You can't get through the site in a reasonable way without just being pelted with ads left and right in the most invasive of ways. So they have to be suffering as well from the fact that ad revenue is just shot now.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Is there's like when I said page view declines, I implied ad revenue declines right alongside that. So it's like if your revenue's down, I don't know their numbers. Let's just say they're experiencing a down 40% year. They're buying all these websites because those page views could supplant the decline. I think that would be the less terrible solution. But yeah, last night I did think like, God, what if they're doing this because they want to train an AI model on their site? It wouldn't be the first time, man. We're seeing it. Reddit's doing it. Getty Images is doing it. So these deals are being struck. If they do that, I think they're already getting bad press from this. Like, people are already pissed off. They were already a monolithic entity in gaming. So now it's just they're more monolithic. Yeah. Lastly, I feel bad for everyone that got laid off. That there are some incredibly talented people who worked at Gamer Network. And yeah, I hate to see it go down like this, I guess. But I had been talking about this for about 2 years. So I'm not surprised. I just didn't think IGN would be the acquirer. And I wish I didn't have to point it out that it's anti-competitive. I wish people could just be like, hey, maybe it's because the broader gamer discourse for the last year was cheerleading Microsoft versus the FTC that they have no foot to stand on at this point. But yeah, this is anti-competitive. So I'm not a fan of it. There's nothing we can do about it. But there might be something. But I don't want to be the Tim Sweeney to IGN's Apple.
Yeah. And yeah, that's exactly it. Is that, like Joe said, it would take so much time and resources to get that to the people that need to make a judgment on that.
Mm-hmm. I do want to point out one last thing about Gamer Network. They did that thing where if you run an ad blocker, you can't read their site. And I think that adversely impacted their page views for the past 3 years. So I think sites that do that, take heed. This is your future. But yeah, I don't know. Sorry to end on such a downer, but it's just that story's been bothering me since it came out. I don't think I haven't heard IGN say a word about this yet. I think the only story we saw was posted to gamesindustry.biz, and then like game developer, other sites picked it up, but the news was broken on gamesindustry.biz, and then they immediately started to gut that website. It's just really sad. And yeah. I used to write there. That's where my Game Trader feature was born. It was actually born on a website called industrygamers.com, which was then acquired by Gamer Network and merged into gamesindustry.biz. So yeah, I worked there for a while, and I hate to see my colleagues get treated like they have been this week. So
sure.
Good luck to everyone out there. Hope you guys land on your feet. And yeah, there's just a lot of websites out there. So we'll see. But yeah, we did it. Those were the longies. I even added 2 more.
Wow.
Just to make it even longer. We do have some community notes. We've got a few questions and comments from the Shack News community, which you can join by heading over to shacknews.com/chatty or emailing somebody somewhere at something. Haas Mamu in our YouTube comments said, "Good job, TJ. I think congratulating you on the win from last week."
Yeah,
thank you.
I think so.
And then Red Shack posted this to Chatty. I believe this is today or late last night.
Last night, yeah.
Hellblade 2 is letterboxed. This is stupid. I get why movies on TV are. They're filmed in one aspect ratio for theater, and a home TV is different. But this is a video game. It's been designed to play on TVs. All letterboxing does is remove the viewable area of the screen by 1/3. It sucks. The Evil Within did this, and they eventually patched it out because it's really stupid to have a video game be this way. TJ is our recent reviewer. What do you think about this?
It's kind of dynamic in certain areas, so it kind of plays into the
sometimes it's letterbox, sometimes it's not, right?
Yeah. And so I'm halvesies on that. I think it's part of the whole experience, and to that end I don't have too much of an issue with it. I agree that it would be nice to be able to remove it. Mm-hmm. But as far as does it deserve to be there? No, I think it's part of the whole thing. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they actually do a patch to allow you to take that out at some point, like they did before.
Mm-hmm. I think the missing piece of the argument is, and I even think they spoke out about this. Maybe it was on the first game, and let's say game, I can't remember. But there was some developer response that said we need to save those pixels. We don't have the horsepower to achieve what we want to show on the screen without, cutting the visible frame in half, basically, or by a third. Mm. I mean, and you can argue well, tone down the graphics, bro. I want to see more of it. That's valid. But I think at least there is a reason.
It could be a situation where these games have to be optimized to run on Xbox Series S. And that has kind of nerfed every game that Microsoft has released this generation. Starfield probably would have looked better if it didn't have to hit that the Series S spec. I think that might be what it could have been. I don't know. but it could have been a constraint that led to this.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, that's it. We did it. I kind of agree. I don't mind it though, because to your point, TJ, like sometimes I think being able to transition from letterbox to like full 16:9, it like enhances those moments. So
yeah,
and it's such a cinematic game. I don't mind that. But yeah, we did it. Those are the community notes. Please comment on wherever you see us. Like we're on everywhere, so you can comment, yell at us, tell us, hey, good job on winning the game, or sorry that TJ lost, or I don't know, speculating if John was really on melatonin or if he was playing a game called Melatonin. Anyway, that's it.
We'll never know.
That's going to do it for today's show. Subscribe on your podcast app or facility of choice. And if you made it this far, like, come on, give us a 5-star review. Give us a thumbs up on YouTube. Give us a little follow or subscribe wherever. Because if you made it this far, you like us, right? It's pretty true.
Don't deny it.
I sure would hope so.
And yeah, this is going to go up probably late Thursday night, Friday morning. So yeah, tune in every Friday for more Shack Together. You can listen to it on the weekend. It's perfectly legal. If you missed the evening reading post where I embed it, and let's say you maybe even missed the original article post the next day, chatty threads now have 24-hour expiries, so you got 6 more hours to comment.
Hell yeah.
And
nice.
Notices. Yep. And that's how you tie in the last dev update of the entire show. But yeah, I don't know. We did it. We updated the chatty this week. It's the only platform on earth where you can share hyperlinks and you're not penalized for it. So yeah, give it a shot. That'll do for the show. We did it. I don't have to yell about Shack News general promotion because we pre-recorded it. I don't know why, but like you like chop and screwed it at the beginning, so I sound like Satan when I'm talking about Shack News or Shack Together being a Shack News production. But outside
only
of
for
that,
a second,
really solid stuff. Yeah, for a second, it sounds like I am possessed by some sort of demon, and I want you to subscribe to Shack News. But yeah, that's it. We did it. We did the show. Thank you, TJ, for joining the Shack News Extended Podcast Universe. The SIPU, as the kids are called. They're still calling it that, right? Kids?
Hang on. Yeah, they still are.
Nice. Thanks, kids, for listening. And yeah, we'll be back next week.
Thank you for having me again.
Yeah, this is where we wave at the camera that is not actually on or recording, and we say bye.
Bye.
I'll never forget.
Bye, everybody.
Shack Together is a Shack News production.
Shack Together is a Shack News production.
Shack Together is a Shack News production.
Shack News is a multimedia company consisting of a variety of entertainment properties, including ShackNews.com, video game and cutting-edge technology coverage with evergreen video, guide, and long-read content, providing readers and viewers with the latest reviews, previews, interviews, and news. Shack News content is readable and viewable at ShackNews.com, Facebook, YouTube at Shack News Interviews, and Shack News VODs, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram at Shack News Media, Twitch, and more. But that's not all. You can play Bubbletron, our first video game. Combine 3 ideas, hit the market, and get your money hat. Bubbletron is a daily game in the style of Wordle, where players can launch a company and see its valuation instantly. Hit that high score and brag to your friends. Visit Bubbletron.com to play. There is no download required, no signups required. But if you are into app downloads, we have the cutest one on the planet. It's called Shack Pets, the ultimate battle for cuteness. Swipe your pets to victory on iOS and Android in this Tinder-like app for pets. Shack News is proud to present a variety of micro products, all available for free at shacknews.com. Cortex is a publishing platform available to all of our users. Shouts is a Twitter replacement in a time where Twitter really needs replacing. And Reader, an RSS reader that won't get shut down by Google anytime soon. You can import YouTube, subreddits, all sorts of cool stuff, even podcast feeds. And lastly, all of our products are completely free to use and play, so if you're a fan of what we're doing and want to support the Shack News ecosystem, head over to shacknews.com/Mercury. Mercury offers subscribers access to exclusive Shack News swag like hoodies and VIP access to our long reads in downloadable format. It's a great way to support us. There's different tiers, and you get a lightning bolt next to your name.